Hello everyone, this is Empress Pamela. Welcome to this edition of You Need This Crystal. Right now you are taking a gander at one of my favorite and most used spiritual tools. It is the Pocketbook of Stones by Robert Simmons. Most of my over 160 videos of crystals, I was able to refer to this book and get information and hence provide it to you. So if you are a crystal collector, I would say the investment in this book is going to pay off quite quickly for you. I always refer to it, even though I can Google things for some reason. I feel like this is a good, real book to have in your arsenal of information. So, if you watched my recent Healing Addiction shopping haul, Sage and Smudge, you will know that I released myself to go out in the wild at a metaphysical store and purchase new crystals. However, when I woke up on the day that I went, I only had one crystal in mind. I visualized it because I had seen it on previous visits, but I never picked it up. And for some reason, when I don't want to say I dreamt about it, but I visualized this crystal, and I was on a mission to go that day to pick up one of said crystals. The crystal I'm speaking of is called Iceland Spar Calcite. I always keep calling it Icelandic. I don't know why. Let me show it to you, and then I'll read the little snippet that Sage and Smudge, if they have it on file, they'll give you a little breakdown of what the crystal does. And they always put your crystal purchase in a nice little bag to protect it. So this is the crystal that I purchased. Now there was a choice of 3. I held each in my right hand, held it to my heart, and this one to me felt like it had the most weight. Look at it. Weight, warmth, and then my fingers tingled when I was holding it, and it's tingling right now. It's so strange, but it's beautiful. So I'm like, why was I drawn to this crystal at this time? And I told you in previous videos, the crystal that you're drawn to at the time is the crystal that you need. So it looks pretty, it almost looks like a piece of ice, right? Which is really telling of its name. I mean, Iceland, I guess. Look at this. Excuse my nails, they're really nasty, but it is what it is, right? So this is Iceland Spar Calcite. The chakras are all chakras, strong connection to the third eye. Healing qualities, good for decision making and clear thinking. Physical benefits, aids detox. Emotional, spiritual benefits. Calms the mind, helps you cope with mind games, and lets you see 2 sides of an argument. I'm not sure how that comes into play for me at this moment, but it's been a month since I worked, so basically it was time for me to move on. It was over a year. They were going to convert me to a full-time employee. They weren't going to pay me more, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That's the bottom line. And it was, I would say, not the right fit for me. I'm an empath, and I was processing medical records. And what happens, and what happened to me frequently, is although I'm not sitting there reading the whole chart, I am checking things, and, I can see certain medical terms and all that kind of stuff. So basically, I would feel the members' pain based on their medical situation. And of course, since I'm a cancer, I guess, survivor, I'm here, aren't I? If I saw certain terms of cancer or just certain things would just trigger me, and I would feel the pain that the member is going through based on their medical problems. And so I would be drawn to tears. Sometimes I would really break down in tears and get upset. And I'm work from home, so it wasn't like I was in the office crying, but it was very draining on my energy, and the environment wasn't exactly the most supportive. I would say it's probably borderline toxic environment, because you're in a production environment and they constantly push you like little robots, I don't know. It just wasn't a good fit. Okay, not to be negative, but the good thing is I released myself from the toxic environment. The bad thing is I have no money, okay? And I laugh about that, but it is what it is, right? So I'm drawn to this crystal. I need clarity on what my next step is. So I know that this, like we had just mentioned, it helps with decision making and clear thinking. I am going through my entire office, and I have yesterday I started reading. I keep notebooks of stuff. I don't even know what was in there, but old emails from like over 20 years ago. Emails, former friends, co-workers, not a lot, just things that I saved. Things were important, and it just blew my mind, some of the terminology that was used, which is borderline on the spiritual, which I kind of found interesting. But the nuggets that I found in going through previous correspondence with loved ones, let's say, I always talked about my passion and what my goals are. And I've been avoiding concentrating on what I'm here to do for my whole life. Seriously. So now I'm at this point in my life, this juncture in my life. I survived cancer. I'm 57. I'm going to be 58 in 2 weeks or less. And it's time for me to focus on my life purpose. So as I go on and on, I'm sorry, I'm just chit-chatting, but I guess having this crystal here is helping me gain insight. All right, so let's learn more about, let's see what they call it. Robert Simmons says it's called clear calcite, Iceland Spar. Here's his. Here's mine. Wow, I found the twin in a book. So, let's learn a little bit more about why I'm going on and on, right? Okay. Keywords: insight, clarity, manifestation, forgiveness. Chakras, all chakras. Elements: fire and wind. Physical benefits: stimulates metabolism and energy flow through the aura. Emotional benefits: encourages forgiveness, releasing anger, resentment, arrogance, and envy. Whoo, shit, that's a lot. Spiritual benefits: facilitates creating inner clarity, initiating multi-level awareness. Oh, this all makes sense, right? Okay. Clear calcite is a calcium carbonate mineral with a rhombohedral crystal system and a hardness of 3. It is a colorless, transparent variety, also known as optical calcite. It was originally discovered in Iceland, but can also be found in Mexico and other localities. Clear calcite is the calcite most akin to clear quartz. Both stones can be programmed to amplify the effect of one's intent, helping to bring that intent into the physical world. In addition, This stone is excellent for those in need of an attitude adjustment. It helps one see clearly to the roots within the self of problems causing symptoms of anger, resentment, envy, and or arrogance, especially if accompanied by flare-ups of temper. Well, that is me, I'll be honest, right? Okay, with such insights, one can more easily forgive oneself and others for past actions and move toward the higher good. So in cleaning up my office and going through paperwork, I noticed where I had disagreements with loved ones, and a lot of the emails that I found were apologies, asking for forgiveness, and I would say yes, I would admit that I come off arrogant in some of those emails, and these are ones from like 20 years ago, with my brother, with my father, relationships that I've had difficulty with historically. Okay. Also, the double refractive nature of clear calcite allows those who use the stone in meditation to achieve a multi-level awareness, which allows one to hold paradoxical or contradictory ideas within the mind without taking one side or the other. This is especially useful since it seems that reality is paradoxical in its very essence, and those who wish to understand it must embrace paradox. Holy shit. Like this and that are true. Interesting. All types of calcite work well with one another, but clear calcite also harmonizes with moldavite, phenacite, scolecite, and danburite. Its capacity to initiate higher awareness is greatly aided by azeztulite. So, moldavite. I'm going to show you where my moldavite is. Right here, baby. There's my moldavite. So I'm going to put my clear calcite, Iceland Spar. I'm going to let it hang out by my moldavite. And if you don't know much about moldavite, please check out my playlist of You Need This Crystal. And you can gain some insight on moldavite and over 160 other crystals. So, I hope you enjoyed this introduction, a little bit of sharing. I will say that it does pay, as much as it may hurt you or you may cringe a little, if you have some old letters or things that you've kept in your memory box and you're at the point where you want to find out a little bit more about who you are, almost like admitting who you are authentically at the very heart of your heart. And if you're contemplating what your next step is or what the next phase of your life is, it's worth going back and really understanding how you operated as a person and whether or not that still holds true in your life. It's basically getting insight into your true authentic self. So that is enough from Empress Pamela today. I wish you all the best and nothing but love. Take care.